Well, a lot of people have been asking, what is the status of Patrick Williams? Well, we got an update to that. Apparently, he suffered a minor setback in the minicamp so far for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to talk about all that and more. But first, we got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Sir Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content, y'all. So it seems like Patrick Williams suffered a bit of a minor setback in minicamp so far for the Chicago Bulls. This comes from the New York Times saying this. Patrick Williams experienced discomfort during the team's minicamp in Miami and required additional rest in recent weeks. His availability is the biggest unknown in the short term. Long term, the setback forces one to wonder whether Williams will be able to assemble a breakout season given his lengthy layoff. He last appeared in the game on January 25th and hasn't played much 5-on-5 since. The Bulls signed Patrick Williams to a 5-year, $90 million contract this season, a show of continued faith in the number 4 pick in 2020. So it seems like Patrick Williams isn't quite healthy yet. And the fact that they said that he hasn't done much 5-on-5 since January 25th is kind of against what we've heard earlier in the offseason for the Bulls. We heard that Patrick Williams was fully cleared and ready to go about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So the fact that he is in minicamp, that he is participating in the Bulls minicamp in Miami at that is a good sign. I want to be clear. It is a good sign more than a bad sign. But the fact that at this point, right, we're looking at 9 months since your surgery, basically to the day, 2 days from now will be officially 9 months since his surgery, or 8 months, I should say, learn to count, 8 months since his surgery, that he's still suffering a setback. That's a bit concerning for what training camp may look like for Patrick Williams and for the Chicago Bulls. Now, the Bulls do have Torrey Craig, who could theoretically step into that starting power forward role. They have Modest Busilis as well, who I think long-term is going to be a 4, but I think right now it's kind of more suited to play the 3 with the size as he puts on some weight. Julian Phillips is another guy who is playing more towards the end of the season. Well, before the season ended for him early with an injury. So the Bulls really don't have a lot of depth there at that power forward position. Now, I know some Bulls fans are going to say, but Haize, we got Jalen Smith here. Jalen Smith can play the 4. The only reason why the Bulls may hesitate to play Jalen Smith at the 4 is that he's the only backup on an actual contract, a full contract with the Chicago Bulls that can play the center. Right now, the Bulls can go Torrey Craig with a small ball center. They do have Adama Sanogo, who's on a 2-way contract, who could be called up. So that is options there for the Chicago Bulls as well. So they got a lot of different ways that they can go. But I think either way, the focus of here is that Patrick Williams still having a setback to where he had to have some additional rest, and that it took weeks, right? Not just he had a setback, he was out for a day or so, came right back to it, but weeks that he had the setback. To me, that's a little bit concerning. Now, maybe in training camp opens, we have our media day, things like that, and all that's gone and dead and it's not worried about anymore. But it is a bit of a concern that Patrick Williams is still suffering that type of setback this late into or this far away from his surgery. So that's a bit concerning. We got Steve on the building, says F this week. I agree with you. Markel says bloody hell. Yeah, bro. It's concerning. WTF from this. I never have pronounced your name correctly. And you've been supporting the channel for years at this point. I thought it's a good news. You thought it was good news? Thought it was good news? Oh, bro, are you a new Chicago Bulls fan? We don't get good news here. What's going on? What's going on, Loco? God to have you in the building. Bulls Daily, my little brother says goofy ass always injured himself off season. What's to him? That's crazy. That's crazy. I was hoping Zach and Vooch had been traded. No, I mean, listen. No. Not again with this dude. It's always something, man. It's always something. I was having a good morning till you just fucked all that up, Haize. Hey, listen, I'm here to bring the news, man. I'm sorry. I wish that the news was positive. I got to be honest with what the news is coming on, man. But, it is what it is. COD in the building, says Facepalm. What up, bro? I think it's time for us to realize that we need to fire our medical staff. I mean, listen, bro, we're on the 3rd different medical staff since the Derrick Rose era, and it's been the same shit every time. At some point, we just need to realize maybe it's something in the water, bro. Maybe something in the water, Q. I just hope this ain't another Lonzo situation all over again. I hadn't thought about it that badly, but yeah. We cooked and season hasn't even we're cooked. The season hasn't even started yet. Well, I'll tell you what, if the season came down to Patrick Williams' availability or not, considering he's only averaged 9.5 points per game for his career, then our season was cooked before it even started. What up, Haize? I say bring Kenny Lofton Jr. to play power forward. He's been ready. Bulls need that energy and activity. Kenny Lofton Jr. is not a power forward. He's a center. He doesn't have the lateral mobility to guard most fours, modern fours in the league. Now, are there going to be some where you can? Yeah, but a starting lineup of Kenny Lofton Jr. and Nikola Vucevic is barbecue chicken. That's and pick and roll. At that point, you can pick and roll your power forward and your center, and you can cook the Bulls. That would be bad. That would be bad. The medical staff has to be addressed. I mean, like I said, we're on the third different medical staff. Yo, hey, it's good to hear you, brother. Season almost approaching. Yes, season is almost here. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. Problem is, it's the foot. Never know with feet. Can't believe AK gave him that contract. Well, I mean, the contract isn't that bad of a contract. Like, the contract is basically, in 2 years, is going to be a mid-level contract. So, and it's flat. So it's the contract isn't the part that I'm worried about. Like, you're not going to, at this point, the Bulls going younger. They're not going to let a 22, 23-year-old player go. They weren't going to. Didn't we just fire and get a new medical staff a few years ago? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We literally are on the third medical staff in the last 12 years. So at some point, I mean, are they not hiring people from Northwestern? Aren't really supposed to be like one of the best medical colleges in the world? Like, what are we doing here? Between Pat Will and the Bears O-line, I can't take it no more. That is crazy, bro. That's crazy. But I feel you. Hope's good to go, but start of the season, I agree with that. I definitely agree with you. Kenny Lofton has brick feet. That front court would be cooked. Yeah, Kenny Lofton and Nikola Vucevic in the front court together is cooked. I'm like I said, literally pick and roll everything to save your life. Pick and roll everything. Like teams literally just, it's pick and roll at that point. Ain't no part. Whoa. See, you what? What does that got to do with the price of butter? What are we doing here? I was just telling people that this is Patrick Williams' year, ready for Matty Bulls to start at the starting four, though. Listen, I don't think they're going to start him at the four right now. I could be wrong on that. Like, I've learned to never put a cap on a player, but Manas Busilis just isn't physically ready, I think, for the nature of the four. I always compare it to Kevin Durant, right? Kevin Durant played shooting guard his first 2 years in the league before moving to small forward. Now he plays a lot of power forward. And I think that Manas Busilis may have a similar thing of playing more three. Yeah, his long-term role is probably going to be the four with his size, his length, his athleticism. There's a lot to be there. But right now, just in that rookie year, I don't know if he's ready to start the four with some of the physicality at that forward position personally. But hey, I mean, we'll see how confident they are in it. Shay says it's probably a little Nick, like maybe a small little sprain or something, a little bit of a discomfort, and maybe something else. They need a little rest, and maybe he'll be healed by tomorrow. Well, keep in mind, Shay, they said that this happened weeks ago, and he's having weeks of rest. Like, so this is the thing. I want to, if I didn't do a good job of that, I apologize. This isn't something that happened yesterday. This is something we're just finding out about now, but this is something that happened in minicamp in Miami, and he's had weeks of rest, and he's still not 5-on-5 in right now. So that's the concern part of it, right? That's the concern part of it, is that I'm even more concerned that they said in recent weeks, and he's still not doing a lot of 5-on-5. That's the concern there for me. But I mean, you never know with these reports. It may not be reported the correct way, but yeah. What's your take on Daryl's report that Zach has vowed not to stunt the growth of young players on the team and that he's fully committed to team activities? I'll actually be going live on that over on Locked On Bulls probably in about the next hour. So I'll actually be talking about that. I've been doing so now that Locked On Bulls is solely on me, I've had to pick and choose which topics I cover here and which topics I cover over there. So that's a topic that I'll be covering on Locked On Bulls. I will be going live here. Like I said, probably in about an hour or less. I'll be live over there. I'll be discussing that. So stay in tune with Locked On Bulls. We actually have 3 of our 5 most important players who are all recovering from injury. But it's mainly the communication between the staff and players with Zoe and P. Will. They're not the same accord because we're constantly getting different reports throughout the months. That's a great point on that as well. Contract is a problem because it was over the market value for his production. We once again gave him the player option, almost double Kobe's. Come on, bro. He's younger in a completely different situation as Kobe, and they paying that based off growth. It's still not, and who's to say? We don't know what the market value. Anything that you hear about market value for P. Will is nothing but rumors. He never even tested the market, so there's no idea to know what the market value is. This is why, and this is part of my job here, separating the narrative from the fact. There's no way that anybody could tell us what the market value is for P. Will. He didn't meet with another team. His agent didn't talk to another team. They were locked in with the Bulls. They signed it before another team could even talk to P. Will, before they could even get offers. So we don't know what the market value was. And even with that market value, I'm sorry, you overpay for your own guys. That's typically what happens in every sport. That's not just Chicago. Every team does that. And so because of that, and you're betting it off of now we're going younger, you're going to have more opportunity. He's going to get more than that because he means more to you than he does any other team as you drafted him number 4 overall. And it's still not a problem because financially, he doesn't put the Bulls in a bad area. The Bulls can be $65 million beneath the first tax apron next season. So I'm not looking at $18 million that would have signed an $18 million contract when it came to the Bulls. That's another thing that you have to factor in as well. No major free agent is coming to the Bulls right now. So what do? They have to have to develop, and they have to hope that their players are going to take a step up. So I'm not trying to hear what market value was for a player that never met the market. We're going to end up on an episode of Chicago Med at this point. I mean, that's crazy, but very accurate. Very accurate. Can we just fire everybody from Miami? We need Pat Riley to come shake this shit up. That is, bro, like Pat Riley's probably going to retire and never see it again. Eric Spoelstra's going to move to. That's what great franchises do. They have a succession plan, right? The Bulls could never be on that type of succession plan because we suck ass. We suck ass. So Rob says more of a chance to keep that. Like, well, listen, he could be fully healthy by the start of the season. So I don't want to like. There's not reported yet that he could not be cleared by the start of the season and be fully ready to go. It actually seems like there's more optimism that he will, but it is concerning that we're talking about weeks and he isn't fully participating in 5-on-5 yet. It is a little bit concerning, right? So we'll see what comes of that. We'll definitely see what comes of that. But all right, y'all, I just wanted to give this update, man, to you guys real quick to go off of what's going on. I got to get ready to edit Chicago Bears Central, and then after that, I'm going to go over live on Locked On Bulls to talk about some of the Zach LaVine news and some other stuff as well. So make sure you guys stay in tune with us over there as well. Let's go to this one from Quentin from Let's Talk Bulls. Said, people talk about the value, but would be mad if we didn't pay him and he went somewhere else and became a star. Exactly, right? Like it's the fact is with all Chicago sports. It's always what we did. Like everybody complains about what we did do, and and it's just is what it is until they're proven, right? There are people who are complaining about Io's deal, even though that's a $6.7 million deal. And now look at it. He outshined it. People wanted Kobe White traded 3 years ago. Now they're saying, hey, why are we even ever talking about trading Kobe White, right? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I'll see you guys over on Locked On Bulls within the next hour. Thank you so much for tuning in to this breaking news episode. I delayed the daily going live. So the daily is going to go live here in about 5 minutes on Chicago Bulls Central. I did not forget about you guys. I just delayed it because when you go live after posting a pre-recorded episode, the pre-recorded episode never catches the algorithm. So I got to think about that type of stuff. So that's why I delayed it. That's why, because usually the daily episode is usually posted by now. That's the reason why it's late. But I love you guys, man. I'll see you guys over there. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that's thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
Has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.